I changed my mind, and now I will run in the big tractor and then remake everything because I think it will be better. Another piece of metal.
So I just wanted to take a few minutes and show you all the potting up we've been doing and how we set up our trays for market. I'm now going to go get gloves because it is chilly out here and my hands are going to freeze in this wet soil. Plus we started late this morning. This is our last Saturday with no market until November. Today is the 12th of May. We are officially less than a week to markets.
Yeah, and Happy Mother's Day.
Oh yeah, happy Mother's Day. It is Mother's Day.
Yeah.
So happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers out there. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've done a video.
Oh yeah.
And the reason for that is we've been having a lot of camera issues.
Yeah. But now I think it's...
Yeah, we ordered a new camera and it arrived. So now we'll hopefully be able to make regular videos again. And it would only record part of our videos. So the last two edits were just whatever was left. Whatever the camera wanted to record is what was available for us to edit. So we didn't even edit the last one because it was so jumbled up and weird. But we'll be back in business now. So today you're working on?
Here.
Yep.
And yep, go.
On the onion beds?
Yeah.
He's putting compost down for us.
I'm here and I'm going to finish this today, and then I will run in the two-wheel tractor to mix the soil with compost, and then it will be ready to transplanting onions. Perfect. Okay. All right. I need to go get the wheelbarrow and the compost. Another piece of metal. Done. It's ready.
And then you're also going to start using the power harrow on the strawberries. Yeah, because we need to get the strawberries planted. We have 1,200 strawberries that need to go in the ground.
Yeah. I was thinking to use the two-wheel tractor, but I can't see any bed here. So I changed my mind, and now I will run in the big tractor and then remake everything because I think it will be better if start again from the scratch. You know. All right, let's go grab the big tractor.
schedule for this week, so I think it'll be this weekend's project.
Yep.
The onions, we also want to get them in the beds, but that's supposedly next week.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends. We have one really cold night still coming up. They're saying 30 degrees. Yeah, very chilly. So we just, the onions can handle it. It's just, I prefer not to if we don't have to put them through that.
Yeah.
So I think that's today's agenda. I'm going to be in seeding. I got to get the rest of the seeding done for the week.
Mm-hmm.
I want to take you in there and show you what we do for market and how we set up trays for market.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do that first thing this morning, just talk you through that so you can see what's going on in the greenhouse. It's been a while since we've shown the greenhouse. And then Jose can bring the camera around and show what he's got going on today.
11 days more.
Until market?
Farmer market.
No, it's less than that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's only 8 days.
Oh, it's not the 20?
18th.
Oh, 18. Oh, wow.
Yeah, Saturday the 18th.
Wow.
The 20th is Munising, so you weren't that far off. Yeah, so we're just in the last few pushes, but really by this point it is just waiting on nature.
Yeah.
As long as we keep planting our successions and doing what we need to do, then what's available at market is what
yeah.
what the temperatures allow for. So yeah. All right, let's get this day going. It might be chilly outside, but it's nice and warm in here. Woo! All right, so I just wanted to take a few minutes and show you all the potting up we've been doing and how we set up our trays for market, because I think it's very helpful. It allows us to be ready to go in the morning, because we have to leave here about 6 a.m. on the mornings for market. And so because we have to load trailers and load the back of the truck, it's just easy if everything is ready to go. So over here down this side, these are all of our pepper plants. And so you can see we have more left to pot up for the last few markets, but we're ready for the first 3 markets with peppers. And so what we do is any tray that has a single stick in it, these are the ones we potted up for us. So these are some lunchbox peppers right here in this tray. But then the ones that we take to market, we do the varieties we want in the trays, and we mark all the trays early. So all we have to do when we go to market is grab like this entire tray, and it's all set up and ready to go for market, just has to get set out on the table. So like this is a tray of Escamillos, Carmens, Araños, and snacking peppers in this tray. So we do the same thing with tomatoes. So these are all of our potted up tomatoes here in the middle. And you can see they're looking really good. And then we have the trays that are ready for market here. So in here we have our super sweets, and then we have some Sakuras, which are some of our favorite reds. But anyway, we try to get them lined up so that everything's in order, and we just kind of pull things forward as we go to market. That's example here. So we do these little 6-cell things for market here. This is our corn, and then this one has beans in it, and we sell these for $15. Then we have all of our like cucumbers and summer squash, melons, winter squash, all here. And then behind that is the trays that are getting ready to go for the week after. So these ones here are for the 18th. These ones will be for the 25th. And so you can see the beans are just starting to come up, and those will be fully ready for market when we go. So then on this is our cool side of the greenhouse. The temperature is a lot lower over here than it is on that side. So we cleared out this space yesterday. We're going to fill it today because we're seeding a bunch of trays. But you can see these are the peas that are going to go to market. And you can see how nicely they're coming in. So in a week they'll be heading to market with us. And then this is how we do our soil blocks to get them ready for market. So we just have all the different varieties we're going to take to market, and then we pot them up and put them in those bigger trays. Over here is all of our cool season crops. So this is these are our kales and Swiss chards here, kohlrabi, cabbages. We have some Brussels sprouts that we take. And then these are the lettuces, another tray of lettuces back over here. And then this one up here is our broccoli tray. So then you can see we also do in these cells, we do spinach, and then we do our peas, which are back there. And then those next ones are for the market on the 25th, for the later market. And then these are just our trays that are waiting to go out into our fields. And those are the older ones, or the newer ones. The older ones are up front here. So these are the ones that we're just about to plant out. So this is all of our broccoli, cabbage, kohlrabi here. And then these have about another week on them before we plant them out. This is our salad mix and our lettuces. And then over here we have some green onions ready to go out. And then these are some turnips that we're trialing in little blocks. We have some trouble with the turnips beating out the weeds, so we're going to give that a try. And then these first two tables are mostly our onions, which are really bad, need to go out into the garden. You can see they're getting pretty big. So hopefully that'll be early next week or this weekend. We'll get started on these. And then there's more over here. These are the ones we take to market. You can see they're all labeled as with what they are. And people can break them apart. We try to put about 25 to 30 seeds into each of these 4-inch cups. All right, and then the only thing left in here in the beds is this spinach. I haven't yet pulled it, but it's ready to get pulled out of here. I just didn't have the energy and time to do it yesterday. So that's pretty much what we have going on in here in the greenhouse right now. Everything is feeling very organized, which I love when things are organized and prepared and it's easy to see. Because our schedule, the way we run it, once things are seeded into trays, it's really easy to see what's ready to be planted out into the garden. So really the only thing we're looking at, and we probably wouldn't even do that, is where it's going into the garden. So that's the only thing we pull up the garden plan for. But otherwise the plan is just, as things get to the right size, we say, oh, it's time to put the broccoli out, or it's time to put the kohlrabi out, because you can tell by, you know, the size they are in the trays that they're about ready. This shelf here has a lot of herbs that we're getting ready to take for market. So we've got oregano, thyme, and sage. Then we have some dill here that needs to be potted up, some fennel in the back, and then we have cilantro down here, and then rosemary even a little bit lower right here. And then these are green onions that are just sizing up for market. So these will probably be ready for maybe the second or third market. They're not quite there yet. But all right, well, that's everything I want to show you in the greenhouse. I will be in here seeding lots of trays today. We need to get that done. Got to stay on the schedule. Good morning. Today I'm getting ready to go mark the strawberry beds for Jose. He ended up wanting to till that entire bed. Usually we don't till, we just power harrow our beds, but there's a lot of grass in there and we want to really get it prepped for strawberries. So we went ahead and tilled it. So he needs to mark the aisles, because then he's going to take the plow through on the 2-wheel tractor and he'll make the walking spaces. So I need a handy dandy measuring device. I need some stakes to put in the ground for him, and then probably something to pound stakes. I just use these little wooden stakes. I'm going to pound them at each end where the aisle is, and then Jose just attempts to make as straight of a line as possible between the two. It works out pretty good. For the strawberries, we specifically don't need super straight beds because they're going to be there for a few years. All right, the other big project for me today is to start getting these onions planted. I think we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. So we have 44 trays of onions to plant. It goes pretty fast with the soil blocks. When we used to separate them out and do them individually, it took us a lot longer. But now with the soil blocks, it goes pretty fast. I don't know that we'll get them all in today. Plus we got rain last night, which means the ground's going to be a little bit on the muddy side. But the nice thing is it's so nice to plant when the ground is wet because there's less transplant shock. Okay, so marking the beds is pretty easy for us. We just, once I figure out where the first one is, the rest are just 4 foot on center. So every 4 foot I put a stake. And so there's going to be 12 along here. So he'll make 12 walkways with the plow, rotary plow on each of these. And now I just need to mark the other side so he can walk back down and see it on the other side. Project number 1 complete for the day, but while I was down here, somebody else said that they saw their asparagus was coming up. They're a little bit south of us, so I thought, maybe ours is starting to peak up, and sure enough. Ooh. So on this bed here, we're probably going to end up pulling these ones because we ended up putting the hoop house down here, but these ones are, I think this is their, we planted them not last year but the year before, so that would make this their 3rd season in the ground, so we could actually start harvesting off of these ones, which I'm very excited about. So we'll probably harvest some asparagus this year. Okay, so being down in the strawberries, it's really wet today. I don't know that we'll be able to work in the strawberry patch, but we definitely, with the raised beds like this, we're definitely going to be able to work the onions today. What I'm going to do is get this pulled out. We plant our onions every 9 inches, 3 rows in a bed. So I think that's 130 plantings per bed or per row, right, times 3, so that's approximately 400 soil blocks that go into each bed, and each soil block has about 3 onions, so that's a lot of onions. Alright, so I got my measuring tape pulled out. I'm now going to go get gloves because it is chilly out here and my hands are going to freeze in this wet soil. And then what I'm going to do is put in the holes first for the first variety. This row is going to have cipollini onions, and it's going to have Gladstone onions, which are a white onion, I believe, if my brain remembers correctly. And then we have Patterson, which is a yellow onion. Then we do red carpet, which is a red onion. And then we do Powell, which is another yellow onion. And then we're going to do a row of Walla Wallas and a row of shallots. So I don't know how far we'll get today. Hopefully we'll get a lot of them done. Today's a perfect planting day. The sun is not out and the soil is wet, and not too wet. And it just makes for a great day of planting. I think it really lessens transplant shock. So, all right, gloves. Okay, so these beds have been plasticed for most of the winter and spring up until now. Jose has put compost, and we did a little bit of fertilizer on these. Now what I'm going to do is go through and dig the holes first, and then we'll come through and plant. It's just easier to do everything all at once rather than do it as we go. I find anyway, it goes a little bit faster. Hi, buddy. So Jose and I went in, we got the first row done, we went in and took a break, but now a change of a tire was required because it is chilly. So now I got layers on, I got my winter hats back on. We got it, we really want to get this done today. It'll be really nice. Then tomorrow we can take kind of a more relaxed day, just get a few small projects done. So we'll probably push today to get this done. Plus it's supposed to rain on and off tomorrow. Okay, so it's like blowing sideways mist right now. It's very chilly. I'm gonna put the camera inside just because not all of our gear is waterproof, but we will be out here planting onions. Jose and I got the first 3 beds planted. We're now working on the 5th bed. We're skipping the 4th. The 4th is one of our yellow onions and they didn't germinate really good. So I'm gonna need to do some work to get the onions situated the way I want them. This one is our Walla Wallas. This last one's the shallots. So Jose and I are going to work on the Walla Wallas first, And hopefully today we can get those done. I still have about 35 dozen eggs inside that I need to wash and get ready for market. So I need to go inside and get that done today. All right, back to work. Yeah, the onion trays are almost empty. We have one bed left to do.
Yep.
I think both Jose and I are a little bit worn out.
I think we are all.
Yeah, 5 beds of onions was a little bit rough. Plus we started late this morning. This is our last Saturday with no market until November. So I think we're a little lazy this morning getting out of. I usually am out of bed by 5:30, and this morning I think it was closer to 7. So
yeah, so next Saturday will be 5 o'clock.
5 a.m.
Yeah.
We got to get up so we can leave for 6.
Yeah.
So yeah, no more of that.
Uh-uh.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm very excited. We just have one of the yellow onion varieties left to do. We didn't quite plant all of the shallots. We decided at the end of that bed we're going to put leeks. So the leeks aren't quite ready yet. What we'll do is put black fabric over the end of that bed just to keep the weeds from growing and keep it sterile for the leeks. And then we'll get them in the ground, so we'll have about 25 feet of leeks.
Yep.
Very exciting. All right, now I have about 30 dozen eggs to go wash.
Oh,
so
wow. Good luck.
yeah, that's going to be my evening activity. All right,
All right.
back to work.
See you tomorrow.
Yep, see you tomorrow. Good morning.
Good morning.
Today is the 12th
12th.
of May. We are officially less than a week to markets.
Yeah, and happy Mother's Day.
Oh yeah, happy Mother's Day. It is Mother's Day.
Yeah.
So happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers out there. So we wanted to take a minute, stop into the hoop houses and see how close we are on things being ready for market. So we know probably what we'll have ready. So what we have ready are a lot of weeds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely good on weeds to sell at the market. And this hoop house we have not yet weeded at all, so it's pretty weedy. We got some work, clearly have some work to do.
Yeah.
But it does look like kale and Swiss chard usually takes a little longer. The kale will be ready for market, at least a few bunches for members, which is all I really care about, as long as we have stuff for our members.
Yep.
And then obviously cabbages still have quite a while.
Oh yeah.
Broccoli is doing extremely well. It still has probably another month on it.
Yeah.
But it's looking pretty good. And then let's walk down and look at the beets and the green onions.
And carrots somewhere here.
Yeah, the carrots are in this very weedy bed. Do you see some?
Yeah. This is tomatillo, I think, or.
Oh yeah, always lots of tomatillos coming back in. We were at our friend Laura's farm, Full Plate Farm, the other day, and you know there's some jealousy there because she doesn't have very many weeds. She uses a lot of plastic and covers everything, which we need to be doing better at. We're just spending way too much time weeding, even though I try not to let the weeds bother me. Because, you know, a lot of the stuff, especially the brassicas, outgrow the weeds, so it's not really too big of a problem. And they do such amazing things to feed the soil. But when you look at a carrot bed and it's all weeds and you can't see the carrots hardly, it's frustrating. Although I do see a lot of really tall carrots in there.
Yeah. Well, hey, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, and the good news is there's not too much grass in that bed, so
No,
that's the good thing.
I think I did a good job this time.
Yeah. All right, let's go down and look at beets and green onions.
Cabbage.
Yeah, these are all cabbages along here. So they're looking pretty good. And then here's the kale over here, and it's...
Oh, look at this one, beautiful.
Yeah, definitely going to have some leaves to harvest off the kale for sure. So that's on the list. And then here are our beets. They're looking really good. They're of course not ready to harvest yet. But this is definitely the best looking beets I think we've ever had this early in the year. And remember we used those little 35 soil blocker from Johnny's. And so they'll be ready to harvest in a few weeks. Not for the first market, but
maybe for the
probably
third.
by the third would be my guess. All right, and then the last thing we have in this row are green onions, which we have green onions growing in the greenhouse itself that'll be ready for maybe not the first market, but the second market. And then down here, and the onions are interesting because they always take a while to get established, and then once they go, they go.
Yeah.
So they're down in here. You can't really see them very good because of the grass, but they're in here and they'll be fine. They compete well with the weeds.
Oh yeah, they don't cut too much.
Yeah. Hoop house number 2. We definitely will have spinach for market. There is a ton of spinach in here ready to go. Lettuces are pretty close. The salad mix over here, but I think it's going to need one more week. So probably by the second week, we'll go down and look at the larger heads I planted. Those won't be ready probably till the 3rd or 4th week. And then we have radishes on that last end, which will not be ready for week 1, but
No.
I would say by week 2 we'll have radishes. And then we have kohlrabi and bok choy at the end there, so we'll walk down and take a look at those, see where they're at. Now we have kept this one fairly weeded, but you can see the weeds are not the problem. It is grass.
Yeah.
Like grass is our biggest problem. That's the thing we need to get under control because it's so disruptive. Like the weeds, we can easily come through and just, scrape the surface and get rid of them. The grass, the roots are so deep, and every time you pull them, it just breaks the root, and that root regrows.
Yeah.
So we need to make a conscious effort to get rid of the grass, start like more clean slate, and then let some weeds naturally come back in that don't bother us so much, that just naturally cover the soil. This is the auroch. This is the stuff we grew in the greenhouse, and it is going to be so beautiful for market. I could probably actually start harvesting it now. So these are our bib lettuces here. And again, I don't think they're going to be ready for the first market, but for sure by market number 2 we'll have bib lettuces available at market, and they're coming in really nice. And then down here are our full-size heads. These are our butterhead lettuces, and they will probably not be ready till week 3 or 4. All right, and then here are our bok choys, and the horrible thing about bok choy this time of year are the flea beetles. They eat up the bok choy. We should probably keep it covered, but we never do. We never learn.
Well, we need a specific...
Yeah, we need like an insect cover.
Yeah.
Well, I should order some. I should start acting like a real farmer and do the things we need to do. So that's that. And then here are the kohlrabis, and they're looking really good. The flea beetles don't bother them too bad. So we have 3 varieties. We have the white variety, which is bees, which we love, and then a purple variety. And then we have our green variety, which I believe is Turek. This is hoop house number 3.
Yep.
And this one has some of our warm season crops in it already. So we have down this aisle here is our summer squash, and we always plant it really early. We're one of the first to market with summer squash. We really like it. We also have cucumbers going on the other side here. And then this row has our next round of salad mix, which is looking really good. Although I planted it in the wrong paper pot transplanter size. I said to Jose, it should fill 4 rows, half a bed. And he came in and he said, no, it fills half of a bed, 2 rows. And I was like, oh no, I did it in 2-inch. Now, the 2-inch won't hurt it really bad. It's just they don't quite have enough room to expand. So we'll probably end up having to harvest it early. The good news is we always have successions ready in the greenhouse. So it doesn't really, might affect one market, but we will have a lot. And then down on the end is the next planting of radishes, and they're coming in nice. All right, so here are our cucumbers. So they're not growing real fast yet, but they are definitely coming in. Oh yeah, and we did beets in here, and they're looking really good. Yeah, last year we had some sort of fungus that was killing the cucumbers when we planted them. It was a little bit frustrating. They would basically rot right on the stem and die.
Yeah, I don't see any.
No, it didn't happen at all this year, I don't think. All right, and then we're just looking. I do not see any beans coming up yet, but we should start seeing them pretty quick.
Yeah, they take just 4 or 5 days.
Yeah. This is not something we would do very often on the farm, but because we wanted to start doing carrots earlier in the greenhouse, we tried soil blocking carrots. And so what we did is in the Johnny's 12 blocker, we did 4 seeds, 1 on each corner. And the germination was pretty good. I'd say there's about 3, on average, 3 carrots per block came in. And then before the roots got too long, we transplanted them out here. And this bed is 100% weed free. It was covered all winter with plastic. So it'll be interesting to see how these carrots do. Are you kind of excited to see?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be like profitable for big harvest, but for our members early, it's definitely something that would help us, because it's hard to get them to germinate in the greenhouse quick, and we need them. You know, we don't have much time to leave stuff in the greenhouse.
Yeah.
All right, so that, I feel like we're in pretty good shape for market. Usually it's a slow start. We don't have a whole lot of stuff the first couple of weeks, but it'll be quick. Once these days start warming up, it's like suddenly you're like, there's so much to harvest. But the good news is we have a ton of plant starts that are going to market. And so really our income, the first few markets, isn't just quite as high as our mid-season numbers, but it's pretty close. We don't hardly skip a beat the first 6 markets because people are buying plant starts.
Yeah.
And this year we have some tactics we're going to try to see if we can't get that number over $1,000 a market on these first few markets, which would be very hard if we didn't have starts. It would be nearly impossible. But I think we're bringing a lot this year, and I think we should be able to get up. We hit it close last year. I think our biggest day, maybe the 3rd market in, was $950. But I would love to see that up over 1,000. All right, so the next project that we are on today is beans.
Yeah.
Wow. So the next project we were on today is onions. So we did 5 rows yesterday. I think we planted 6,000 onions. We have the last 1,200 to plant today. We're going to get that done. And then it's supposed to be rainy all afternoon.
Yeah.
And one of the things is we have not done any spring cleaning in the house. And I know you guys don't want to watch us clean our house, but I need to get the accounting ready. I have not yet done that, and I've been promising my bookkeeper I would get that to her. So I need to do that. And then I think we're just going to really get like all of the tops of the shelves cleaned off and just get the house looking spotless. We know by the end of the season it'll be crazy again, but it's nice to start out with it looking pretty decent. So I think that's the afternoon's project. But the onions should take us about an hour. Let's go get that done.
Okay.
Woohoo! Onions are complete. Feels good to have that project out of the way. We got everything in the ground now except for the leeks, and that's going to be on the end of this last row here. So those still need to be done, but otherwise we're done. We worked through a little bit of rain.
Yeah.
That's why we didn't have the camera out here, because it was raining pretty good for a little while. But the good news is she's done. So now I got to go inside and do accounting. That's no fun. What are you gonna do?
I will do water put water on the hook, inside the hooks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So watering.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I think it's gonna be just kind of a relaxed afternoon.